Good afternoon. Welcome in. How you doing? I'm going to share links real quick. Alrighty. Hi, Dave. Dave says, afternoon. I have you set up pretty good, I think, Dave. You should get some good kitty MMA today. Is the sound okay, Dave? Can you hear me, bud? Good afternoon. Welcome in. How you doing? Hopefully having a great day. Hi, Ann. How are you? A weird whistle? I think you're hearing, it's picking up the cat toy. Is it almost like a chirp, 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 chirp? And then there's a bird in the background, too. Alrighty. Nah, it seems things are already going wild here in the U.S., Ann. Crazy stuff going on. It's a little chilly, Ann. Let me try something here really quick, just Did that fix the whistling, Dave? Or do you still hear it, bud? But yeah, Friday the 13th is coming up this weekend, and could get interesting. Full spectrum on YouTube and Huck's Mustard Seeds 24 Seeds 27 show areas and called No King Site. Huh. Yeah, let's be honest, there's very little protesting going on. There's a lot of rioting going on. Yeah, we have a loudmouth bird too today. I don't know what his problem is or her problem is, but she's been out here screaming her head off all day. Jamie's making sketties. All right. I like sketties. I gotta go fix the toy. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Hold on, Willow. I'm coming. Okay. Alrighty, I am back, thankfully. So, I did bring a special guest out with me to show to use, but apparently I didn't get Mom's permission first, so Sweet Pea came out, grabbed it, and dragged it all the way back out to the shed again by its neck. So, yeah, my special guest got taken away. You don't go anywhere Friday the 13th yourself. Been like that for years. It's just another day. honestly. I know there's all the spectacle of, you know, Friday the 13th, it's a bad day and it's a bad number and all this other stuff. No. It's just another day, just like a birthday or an anniversary or anything like that. All you get out of it what you put into it, I guess. Are you having fun there, Miss Willow? Willow's the one that's playing with the mouse that's hanging by a string. She actually ripped the mouse's tail off, the little ass hat. And then the gray one playing with the ball toy, that's Val. Yeah, these cats are ruthless. I'll tell you that now. They do not take it easy on anything. I had to squirt her with a spray bottle a little bit ago because she was literally chewing on my charging cord for the iPhone. People use Friday the 13th as an excuse for stupid behavior. I don't give them that avenue. I will tell them straight to their face that they're an idiot and they've decided to just do something stupid and stop trying to blame it on something like the date, you know. What you doing, Fluff? You should have seen Fluffy before we went live. I had my drink sitting in the middle of the table, and Fluff is sitting on the other side of the table, just staring at my cup. He knows I have chocolate milk. Oh, wow. Well, it's a good thing you got a mouser then, huh, Dave? Dave says, Natiri caught a mouse today, one of the ones that escaped my daughter's snake cage. Snake is getting old, doesn't always eat. Dave says people act stupid on Friday the 13th and full moons for no reason, but to do it. Yeah, I agree, Dave. It's just an excuse, bud. That's what I tell them. All you're doing is making excuses for your bad decisions. Wow. And says that somebody robbed a Saskatoon jewelry store with masks in under 50 seconds. Cool, Jamie. Jamie found their dog tags. Oh, you heard the click of the lid, huh? Come here. Come here, Fluff. It's over here, Fluff. Do you see this? He literally wants to mug my my cup. He wants to mug my cup. Hey, my Fluffy, look at that cute little face. Yes. We've always handled snakes growing up. Black snakes, garter snakes, boas, pipe constrictors, all the different kinds of constrictors. I did make a post down in the veterans room on Discord. I would like you guys to make up a challenge coin for us to hand out to veterans, if that's something you'd be interested in. I mean, maybe I'm overstepping boundaries there. I don't know. That's why I'm asking here. You know. I wouldn't mind getting a scorpion. I like those, especially the ones that glow in the dark with a black light. Dave says, my daughter loves snakes, lizards, creepy crawlies, all of it. She has 3 snakes. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the state of the weak government. And okay, yeah, I mean, I'll jump in there tonight and see what you're thinking about different types of designs, colorings, that sort of thing. But yeah, we've got to nip this shit in the bud that's happening right now with these weak leaders in Democrat areas that are letting people just rob and loot and destroy stuff with no real consequences, That's funny, Ann. Ann says, I let my youngest son get a spider, and boy helped keep his brothers out of his room for many years ago. That's funny. Yeah, when we were younger, in elementary school, we did a thing with different types of animals and stuff, and they had brought a tarantula in, and they were looking for people that were willing to come up to let the tarantula hold it. So I did it. Yeah, I didn't care. I'm good with spiders as long as they don't surprise me. If anything surprises me, get the shit smacked out of it. Hi, Cass. You got that tail all opened up again, buddy. After my youngest son accidentally dropped the light on the spider and killed it, he wanted a snake. I said, no way. Come here, buddy. Oh, shoot. I guess they're all played out now for a moment. There's Boo. So, now we've spent the last 2 nights watching just everything unfold out there, and the fact that Gavin Newsom actually filed suit against the Trump administration because they're pulling out the National Guard and Marines to help quell the rebellion. And that's what it is. It's a rebellion. It's not a protest. Don't let them lie to you. Okay. Their priorities just are not where they should be. And you're seeing a big uncoupling happening here that most people don't catch on to. But there's an uncoupling going on between the blacks and Latinos right now. Especially black NBA lovers are extremely pissed off right now because they vandalized and destroyed a memorial that was made for Kobe Bryant and his daughter, who both died in that helicopter crash not too long ago. And yeah, that's put a really bad light on the whole situation as it is. You know, the protesters are conveniently looting Nike, Adidas, Apple, all these big name brands. They're they're not protesters. They're agitators that were waiting for something to go off so that they could act stupid and not get in trouble. And now Karen Bass wants to act like she's the hard ass and she's the one that's gonna make sure they all get put in jail. So some protesting going on in Toronto. Feel sorry for anyone living in those areas anywhere. Yeah, definitely pray for all the people who are innocents in the situation. Pray for law enforcement that are getting attacked by these people. Yeah, back when St. Floyd thing happened, they were doing the same thing. So it's sad that we've gotten to this point. And then the worst part is they want to sit there and compare themselves to the civil rights movement. No, I didn't see the civil rights marchers and activists, breaking into stores and looting stores and burning places down and vandalizing stuff. That would have gave the government every reason it needed to crack down on that, and that would have killed the civil rights movement right there. 4 more minutes and pasta is ready. What kind of sauce are you using, Jamie? Now remember, spaghetti sauce is a reason for judgment. Snow Lion said something that didn't show up on my screen. There she is. Hi, Snow Lion. Wonder why it didn't show up on my screen here. That's crazy. Hopefully you're doing well, Snow. Ian says police in Toronto blocked off one of the streets and were police dressed in black seen on Instagram earlier in downtown Toronto. Were they trying to blend in? And that they were dressed in black? Marinara? Yeah, I'll let it go this time. We gotta work with you on your sauce choice, though. What in the world is this thing? Can you hear that plane? What are we stopping, Jamie? Snow says they're in right gear. Okay, that makes sense. UFO. Maybe. Ann says, yes, I was wondering, are looking like the ones in USA. Who knows, the police organization outfit. Yeah, I get all kinds of planes that fly over here. From the C-130s, the Galaxy, Super Galaxy, the Poseidon tankers. Air Force One flies over here every the third Wednesday of the month and does touch and goes up at Harrisburg. A-10 Warthogs fly over here. Those are cool. I love watching them. You can always tell when they're coming because of that whistle at the end. And then we have just regular air traffic for Harrisburg International, Lancaster airports. So I'm right in that travel lane for the main airports in the area: Baltimore, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Philadelphia. So, hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Casper just jumped up in my lap. Come here, baby boy. Come here. Can you see his tail? That poor thing. Hi, buddy. Yes, I got you. I got you, puppies. And it says probably the data planes collecting cell phone information. That doesn't surprise me either, Ann. Dave says, when I lived in Aurora, Colorado, we saw everything in North Glen, Colorado. We mostly only see helicopters. Canada doesn't have much of an army, so they're really scrambling to get ready for the upcoming G7. Huh. Yeah, they better They don't want to be caught off guard by anything. That would be really bad, you know. If they let their buddies down. I got you, baby boy. I got you, buddy. Ha Fang. Sometimes you get DIA traffic. Okay. Yeah, we get a lot of, like when Harrisburg or Baltimore or Philly have to have them circle because they're running late or something. We get a lot of that. Sorry about that. I thought I had that turned down. Hopefully it wasn't too loud in your ears. Oh my. What are you doing, huh? What are you doing, baby? And it says, don't have enough water bombers either, and fires not under control. And hopefully they get those fires under control soon. It'd be great if they could get some of that rain we had out this way, if that would hit out that way, you know? Trying to be careful. I don't want to touch his tail. I don't want to hurt him. All right, well, he made himself comfortable, so should be enough land cleared to build another highway to Alaska. Wondering if for pipelines too. You think this is on purpose, Ann? What about the Hugh Data Company in Texas? They're coming. Not sure. I've seen that one. Let me look that up. Hugh Browns points to his home on the map of the 1,200 megawatt gas plant proposed by Sando. Hugh Springs, Texas. Is that what you're talking about, Ann? MapQuest. Does anybody even use MapQuest anymore? Hell, they were a joke back when they were big. They always added like 20 miles onto your trip, taking you out of the way. Cheesy spaghetti. Added some spices. Cool. Hi, Ruth. Welcome in. Stargate AI. Huh. I missed something. Hold on. Oh, your keyboard has something against the letter T today, Hunch. Ruth. That's funny.
That was extremely weird. Bug just started screaming. It was so weird. Like, it wasn't normal.
Is you running around like an idiot or something?
No, he was on your bed and just started crying very differently than normal.
Did it look like he was in pain?
Yeah. And when he went out into the living room hallway, I tried to touch his back hips. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, come here and talk to them so I can go check them quick. Hey, I gotta go check on one of the cats. Katie.
On your bed, and then
Katie said something. Cinder's doing something weird, so I'll be right back.
But when he walks, he's fine. It's just when you go to touch his
there's a baby at my foot.
Hips that he doesn't like it.
Pick up the baby.
Hold on.
I even
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Hello, y'all. Yeah, I was sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden he started meowing differently. Like, not a normal meow. He's one of our very quiet cats. So for him to meow like that, like almost like he was in pain, isn't normal for him. So it kind of worried me. Because nobody was touching him. He just woke up screaming. Or he just was kind of screaming. Hi, Jamie. Wednesday. Say hi to Wednesday, everybody. The little fuzz ball. She little chunky monkeys. Went down with the rest of them? Alrighty. Here. Down you go. But yeah, I was just laying there. Hi, Ann. Nice to see you too. But I was just laying there, and yeah. He started crying like something hurt him, and I don't know. Hey. What the heck? The heck was that about? Really, Leo? Scaring people? Yeah. Now we have Leo sneaking up on people and scaring them. Scaring the others. I give up. But I mean, he went out, like I was saying to Dad, he went out to our front hallway, laid down, and would not let me touch his hips at all. So I don't know if something's wrong that way or what. Or if there's something internally, like stomach-wise, or if it's just the heat or whatever is going on, you know what I mean? There we go. Is he okay?
He's fine.
Well, it just worried me. Because, I mean, he yowled like it wasn't, like, normal. It almost seemed like he was in pain. Well, that's weird. It seemed like he was in pain. And then you just missed it. Freaking Leo came over and started with snuck up on somebody and made them hiss and scatter off. I don't know where they went. Alright, Dad's back. Anne said kittens are just like kids. Lots of fun. Yeah, lots of fun. Sure.
Where's the baby?
Where's the baby?
Why is there water all over the side here?
All over the side?
Maybe Leo's scared to piss out of one of them.
It's over there.
Alrighty, I don't know what she's talking about. She's a weirdo.
He was laying there perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden started yowling like something was wrong.
Here's a baby. There's a baby. Yes, hello, little one. What do you call him, this one?
That one? Is it Chunky? Yes, that one's Wednesday.
Wednesday, huh?
Yes, like Wednesday Addams.
Alrighty.
Hey. Calm your butt. Thank you for checking on him.
Yeah. Put him back. Put her down so she can go play. Alright, sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what she was talking about because that made no sense. Cinder's perfectly fine. So, we caught him chewing through an auxiliary microphone cord the other day, and she's freaking out all the time over thinking that he swallowed a big chunk and it's going to get stuck in his stomach and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, Caitlin, just stop. She just swatted you, didn't she? Dave says I didn't see anything. I was restarting my phone. Yeah, we had some really heavy storms come through last night as well here. They were bad enough they woke me up out of a dead sleep. Maybe a bad dream, or always make sure Yeah. No, they're not. There's no problems there, Ruth or Ann. He's a good boy for the most part. He's a handful. I'm not going to tell you he ain't a handful because he'll. If you'd yeah. If you leave him up to his own devices, he gets in trouble. One time when we were, well, more than one time, there was a couple times that we were redoing the bathroom and he got under the house, and then there was the time he got into the ceiling while we were doing the bathroom. So, yeah. My brother had a dog that ate nuts and bolts, and thank goodness the nuts and bolts came out the next day through it. Yeah. That's scary. Hey, Jamie, you can actually, you can freeze spaghetti too for dinners for later. Alrighty. Okay, here's it says funny headlines and newspaper clippings list. Nice. So apparently these are all newspaper headlines for different stories. It says the first one, police begin campaign to run down jaywalkers. I think that could lead to a lawsuit or two, don't you? Says here, if strike isn't settled quickly, it may last a while. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Cold wave linked to temperatures. Who would have guessed that one, right? Red tape holds up new bridges. I want to stay away from that bridge. Not sure about you, but not sure I want taped bridges. And says it was a Rottweiler and a pup and a semi-truck. Paid a lot of money, but gave the dog away. Yeah, Rottweilers I don't see as being a really good truck dog. Rottweilers are very impatient. They don't like to be cooped up too much. Man struck by lightning faces battery charge. Local high school dropouts cut in half. Hospitals are sued by 7-foot doctors. else do we have here? City unsure why sewer smells. I think we can help you with that. I'm pretty sure we can tell you why your sewer smells. Probably has to do with all the people that crap in it. Dave was a paper boy in the 80s. Nice. Mississippi's literacy program shows improvement. Army vehicle disappears. An Australian Army vehicle worth $74,000 has gone missing after being painted with camouflage. That's some pretty good camouflage, I guess. Dave says probably shit. Ann says no, wasn't a good trucker dog and wouldn't listen and relax, so gave it away. Yeah, Rottweilers, they take a lot longer time to mature. Ruth said, same here, Dave. I delivered papers for 8 years, late 80s to early 90s. Very cool. County to pay $250,000 to advertise lack of funds. That makes absolute sense. We don't have the money to spend to do other things, but we're going to spend the $250,000 to let you know that we're broke. Meeting on open. Meetings is closed. Make that one make sense. Dave says sewer equals poo emoji equals nose pew. Our sewage plant getting overwhelmed due to building too many houses, unfortunately, and sewage plant liquid goes into rivers after chemicals added, of course. They're not supposed to do that, Ann. They don't let kids do paper routes there anymore? That's sad, Ruth. That was like a rite of passage for kids growing up when I was a kid. You know, you got a paper job as your first job, and volunteers search for old Civil War planes. Okay. Does nobody have an editor anymore? Because that's on the editor just as much as it is the person who wrote it. Waterford boy 8 saves sister's life. Youngster used Heimlich, which he learned from TV. And then underneath it says, I wouldn't do it again. She's been a pain this week. Gotta love siblings, right? New sick policy requires 2-day notice. Be nice if they it'd be nice if illness gave you 2 days advance notice before it would hit you, right? You call your people like, hey, you know, I'm gonna be sick the next 2 days. Don't bother me. For sale, collection of old people. Call. We got people collecting old people now? What the hell, man? And here it says 10:10 p.m. Suspicious people were reported doing something with flashlights by the side of North 5th Street in Custer. A deputy checked and found the people were not suspicious, but merely Canadian. The out-of-towners were enjoying an evening stroll. Oh my, that's funny. You Canadians are suspicious now. You know that, right, Ruth and Ann? And Snow? Waitress needed must be 18 years old with 20 years experience. Holy crap. So they wanted you to start waitressing when you were negative 2 years old at this place. Wanted someone to go back in time with me. This is not a joke. P.O. Box 322, Oakview, California. You'll get paid after we get back. Must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. I have only done this once before. I've not really talked to Fred. I've messaged him, but he hasn't answered me back. So I can't give you an honest answer there, Dave. As far as I know, he's okay. Same with Mike and Cora. "5 p.m. Police were called to Market Square for a report about a suspicious coin. Investigating officer reported it was a quarter." Oh my. It says here, driving the vehicle was gone when the deputy arrived. A deputy responded to a report of a vehicle stopping at mailboxes. It was a mailman. Oh my. Some of these people, man. Miscellaneous. Dog attack. Lower Duck Pond, Lithia Park, Ashland. Police responded to a report of two dogs running loose and attacking ducks at about 11:20 a.m. Sunday. An officer cited a resident for the loose dogs. The duck refused medical treatment and left the area, according to police records. Okay, let's see here. Fish need water, the feds say. Hi, Elmo. Welcome in. How you doing, buddy? Says hello, everyone. Nice to see our federal government answering those important questions, such as fish needing water. Parents keep kids home to protest school closure. I don't think that means what you think it means. How to buy a $450,000 home for only $750,000. I think somebody's got that messed up there. I am not using that realtor, just so you know. Wanted, looking for someone to do yard work. Must have a hula hoop. And it says Invest has a plant in Dundalk, and it going to pick up scraps and dog poo and green boxes in Grey County, Ontario, and put back in Enbridge gas lines. That's interesting. Alton attorney accidentally sues himself. Okay. Medina. Police went to a North State Street address just after midnight, November 20th, after getting a call about a disturbance. Officers found an engaged couple there arguing about what time Kmart closed. Police told them the store's hours, and the couple calmed down. Oh my. I guess that's the end of those. So that was interesting, huh? And it says kitchen scraps and dog poo and goes to Dundalk, Ontario, Canada plant and turned into natural gas. Interesting. And it says we only get garbage pickup every 2 weeks as it is. Yeah, I don't know how I'd like that. Oh my. $10 a bag if you go to the dump, huh? Oof. Yeah, I don't know that I want to do that. Jamie's done cleaning the kitchen, she says. Very cool. Jamie asked how you're doing, Elmo. Elmo says, I'm always me, always good, always red and furry. Hi, Miss Boo. Come on. Come on, get up here. Emmo's eating dinner, just a salad with chicken tonight, huh? That's good. What kind of dressing you using, bud? Jamie says, how's the wife? She is good. Still no eye doctor, so I'm in the clear. There's a spider that camped out right in front of me under the table. Ranch dressing? That's okay. I'm more of a French bacon or Thousand Island person. But it also depends on this kind of salad too. So oh boy. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh wow. So apparently there is a trial going on. Let me see, what is this from? This is from today. Well, not today. This is from June 7th. I'm sorry. But apparently down in Australia there is a murder trial going on. It says 4 takeaways from Erin Patterson's testimony at her toxic mushroom triple murder trial. The Australian woman accused of deleting her estranged husband's elderly relatives with toxic mushrooms in a home cooked meal is sharing her story. Just goes to show you, in Australia, if the animals aren't trying to kill you, the people are. Hmm. So I just got sent this by Jamie. Jamie says, I'm being stared at. That is what is staring at. That's the culprit of who is staring at Jamie. Yeah, no, I get it, Elmo. Low battery. What the world? Why is that not charging? Oh, hey. Probably because I turn it on. There we go. Now we're in good shape. Little one, what are you doing down there? Come here. Come here. There you go. It was asleep beside my foot. I think this is a much nicer place to sleep. Almost says, I guess Jamie Stalker doesn't like mushrooms either. Dave says, I love the mushrooms, especially the magic ones. Dave wants the ones that Mario gets. Here. Okay, so she walked away. Oh well. Can't keep everybody happy. Wouldn't that be great though? You just like walking around, you can just jump up in the sky and have a mushroom fall on you, and it just gives you all kinds of energy and stuff like that. All the babies are trying to sleep now, apparently. Apparently they played themselves out. Well, that's an interesting story. Apparently, back on May 30th, NPR did a story about a poor little puppy from Australia, a miniature dachshund that was alone in the Australian bush for 529 days. That's a smart dog, because that's a long time to be out there in the wilderness and living by yourself. Almost says Mario thinks he's fighting turtles and Goombas for a princess. He's actually just tripping balls laid out on the sidewalk. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen some people have some really bad times when they were high on some stuff. I've seen them do some really crazy stuff. So, welcome back, Fluffers. Come on, lay down. Let's see. Funny headlines, laugh at your peril. Okay. It says, however, always remember in print journalism, reading the story is your choice. In broadcast journalism, you have no choice. The speaker will continue talking about the subject, whether you want them to or not. So I guess they're saying print's better because you can turn it off. Headlines: Iraqi head seeks arms. Boo. Something went wrong in jet plane crash, experts say. Who would have guessed? Enraged cow injures farmer with axe. Imagine instead of it being Jack Nicholson and with the axe and what's the name of that movie? That Stanley Kubrick, where he's like, here's Johnny, Instead of that, imagine a cow busting through the door with an axe. Miners refuse to work after death. Now they're wanting zombie workers in the mines, huh? Ow. Hi, Casper. Casper's getting a bath from Fluffy now. Do you like the crazy headline things? This one's a good one. War dims hope for peace. Yeah, who would have guessed that one? New study on obesity looks for larger test group. Oh, wow, Ann, that's gross. Ann says Popeye chicken in some Ontario, Canada locations were selling chicken not fit for human consumption. I gotta look that one up. Gotta look that one up. Unsafe Popeyes accused of using supplier that stored chicken in residential garages. Ah, that's disgusting. A lawsuit filed against Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen is accusing the fried chicken chain of buying unsafe meat from an unauthorized seller that was allegedly storing and packaging raw chicken in residential garages in Ontario. The lawsuit was filed by the Ontario Superior Court of Justice on May 26th by ADP, a former raw chicken supplier to Popeyes. The company alleges they lost their contract with Popeyes after bringing forward its concerns about the unsafe supply of products. Popeyes Restaurant Brands International, the Toronto-based company that owns the fast food chain, and Restaurant Services Canada, Inc., the supply chain manager, are all named in the lawsuit. Popeyes, for its part, said in a statement to CTV News that the claims from ADP Direct Poultry Ltd. Are unfounded and that it found no evidence to support them. Following an investigation, the lawsuit also names another company as the unauthorized supplier, that allegedly provided the items rotten or expired chicken deemed unfit for human consumption to various franchisees across Ontario. The documents continue to say this chicken created a public health risk because it was delivered in vehicles that did not have the proper refrigeration to prevent it from spoiling. The statement of claim alleges that these tainted products were bought by various franchisees, both known to ADP and not, all named in the suit due to their lower prices. That's gross. Bruce says hadn't heard that, haven't had it in a while either. Yeah, I'm not a big Popeyes fan, so this doesn't bother me any, but yeah, I think I'd be rather upset if I was going to Popeyes up there. Oh my. Yeah, I can't repeat that, Ruth, though. That can come after me for slander for that, so I'm not going to say that one. But I understand what you're saying. This can't be true. So this is actually from back in April. It's Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. It says, a student rescued from mountain twice in 4 days after he went back to find his phone. A man identified by police only as a 27-year-old Chinese student developed altitude sickness twice after climbing during the peak's off-season. A Chinese student who was airlifted from Japan's Mount Fuji last week had to be saved a second time in 4 days, local authorities have said. The 27-year-old climber made an emergency call on April 22nd after getting altitude sickness on the mountain's Fuji Namiya Trail, about 3,000 meters, nearly 10,000 feet above sea level. It is the peak's off-season when officials urge people to be aware of incredibly harsh conditions. But 4 days later, police said they received another call to the mountain after the student, who has not been named, returned looking for his phone and other belongings left behind. They said another climber found him there, unable to move after he apparently developed altitude sickness for a second time. We are not raising the smartest people here in this generation. I mean, I'm just being honest here. Seriously. Dave says he doesn't trust any fast food. Even our garbage collector had hired. That's interesting. More offbeat. Here's a thing on Instagram, a thing about have employees of garbage going through recycling, looking at what they see before putting in the garbage. You know, a lot of times down here, garbage people used to take stuff home with them. If it wasn't, you know, if it was just something that was still in good shape and being thrown away for whatever reason, I don't begrudge them that. Hey, whatever, right? Tripping kids as they run around restaurants to be made legal. Oh my. Man arrested for putting down fake social distancing arrows in IKEA and creating a labyrinth with no exit. Buddy, what are you doing up there? You're not supposed to be on table, bub. I'll check that out after the show, Jamie. Jamie just posted something that looks kind of interesting on, yeah, she just said there. Well, and in all honesty, you're not supposed to be throwing out anything that has any kind of personal information directly into the trash anyway. You know, you should be crossing it out with markers and shredding it and stuff. Hey, PD, how you doing? PD says I do the same thing. I just posted something yesterday. Was it yesterday or maybe it was this morning? About AT&T. AT&T got caught in 2 massive data breaches in the same year. Where did I post it at? Okay, I'm not finding it. Hi, Sweet Pea. Hi, honey. All right, let me just look it up again. It says here, late May 2025, a major data breach allegedly exposed 31 million. Oh, what are you doing, girl? Sorry about that. Sweet Pea here decided she wanted to sit on the laptop while I wasn't paying attention. PD says use it to start chart my charcoal. Also, yeah. So many people do throw stuff out in blue boxes. An apartment in my town. Garbage was trucked to Michigan, USA to be burned. Huh. It's very nice here today, PD. Okay. Let's try this again. Hackers have allegedly leaked 86 million AT&T customers' records, including decrypted social security numbers, full names, date of birth, phone numbers, and addresses as of June 3rd, 2025. This breach is linked to a previous incident in April 2024, where the Shiny Hunters group exploited vulnerabilities in the Snowflake Cloud platform, affecting 110 million AT&T users. Additional details. Leaked details. The data was first posted on a Russian cybercrime forum in May 15th, 2025, and re-uploaded on June 3rd, 2025. Data content. The leaked information includes 43,989,219 social security numbers, which were originally encrypted but have now been decrypted. Previous breaches. This is not the first time AT&T has faced significant data breaches. In July 2024, a breach affected nearly all of its cellular customers, and in March 2024, another breach affected 7.6 current and 65.4 million former customers. The company response, AT&T has stated that it is investigating the claims and that cybercriminals often repackage previously disclosed data for financial gain. So There were also claims that AT&T paid off the hackers so that they wouldn't disclose that they had been hacked. So, yeah, if you have AT&T, I'd be getting a hold of them and telling them that you want them to be covering you getting your stuff monitored. Oh, what else is going on here? Oh my. Okay. So apparently there is a wellness company called One Taste, right? That are the leaders of orgasmic meditation. Women's wellness company One Taste convicted in forced labor trials. Yeah. New York, the leaders of a sex-focused women's wellness company that promoted orgasmic meditation have been convicted of federal forced labor charges. A Brooklyn jury on Monday found Nicole Dayardone, founder of One Taste Inc., and Rachel Sherwitz, the California-based company's former sales director, guilty after deliberating for less than 2 days following a 5-week trial. The two face up to 20 years in prison when sentenced later. Prosecutors had argued the two women ran a year-long scheme that groomed adherents, many of them victims of sexual trauma, to do their bidding. That is evil. Does anyone have a pressure cooker? I do, but Mom won't let me use it. She's afraid it'll blow up. RFK concealed the new bird flu. Oh, interesting. I've not heard anything about that yet. Okay, let's talk about Minneapolis. Why a Minneapolis neighborhood sharpens a giant pencil every year. This ought to be interesting, huh? More than 1,000 people gathered Saturday in a scenic Minneapolis neighborhood for an annual ritual, the sharpening of a giant number 2 pencil. The 20-foot tall, 6-meter tall pencil was sculpted out of a mammoth oak tree at the home of John and Amy Higgins. The beloved tree was damaged in a storm a few years ago when fierce winds twisted the crown off. Neighbors mourned, a couple even wept, but the Higgins saw it not so much as a loss, but as a chance to give the tree new life. The sharpening ceremony on their front lawn has evolved into a community spectacle that draws hundreds of people to the leafy neighborhood on Lake of Isle, complete with music and pageantry. Some people dressed as pencils or erasers. 2 Swiss Alphorn players provide part of this year's entertainment. The host commemorated a Minneapolis icon, the late music superstar Prince, by handing out purple pencils on what would have been his 67th birthday. That's interesting, I guess. PD says he loves his. You can take a frozen chicken and cook it in about an hour. Supper served. Yeah, yeah, I like it as well, but like I said, Mom's just watched too many horror stories about that stuff, so she kind of freaks out about it. But there we go. All right. 1800 protesting for no kings protesting on Google. What is that about, Anne? Let me do a search. No kings protesting. Oh, yeah, that's just people being stupid. I need to get some feedback from y'all. Gonna make a post on the YouTube thing. To do the Bible study, I need to know what day and what hours works best for people to do the Bible reading and discussions. So, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could let me know if you're interested in that sort of thing, and we'll get that worked out. Y'all are trying to hide down here so people can't see you, huh? There, now they're watching you. There's Miss Willow. But yeah, if you have personal paperwork, the best thing to do with that, honestly, is just to burn it when you're lighting a grill or something like along those lines, or burning in a trash can, something. Well, I'm available most of the time, man, so that's not a problem. I just need to know, when is available for most of yous, because you guys have lives and plans and stuff. I don't most of the time. Most of the time, I'm just here just doing this, or taking care of some stuff for the foundation and stuff like that. But I still have plenty of time to do it. So I'd rather work it out that we do it when we can get the most people in, so it's more effective. But alrighty, I hate to do this, but it is that time. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out and being here and listening to me ramble. Hopefully you had a good time. I always enjoy it. But yeah, we will see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, have a great night, everybody. Peace. We're out. We'll see you later.